So, in this video, basically, let me just explain why the heck this is kind of late. Although I had the script for this and everything, like, all written down and such. Essentially what happened is OBS and DST didn't like working together, and I found out that game capturing the specific window, DST, caused so many problems. And I realized that I had to instead do a display capture of it. Yeah, no, that caused a massive headache. But anyways, yeah, I figured it out eventually. So, congrats me. Now we have a recording of this. Like, I spent like 2-3 days on this. Oh, so, OBS and freaking DST, when you record on the, stupid thing, caused my thing to crash a couple of times and such. So I also had to deal with crashes and figuring out whether or not it's the mods and stuff. So this video is a little bit late, and because it is later than I wanted it to be up, I did have a script written for it, and I kind of followed the script. But one thing I should say is instead of doing it what I wanted to do, which was going into post-edit and basically, you know, recording all of this as a voiceover and then having the footage of XYZ in the background, instead what I did is I have the script, I read the script, and I do the things in the script kind of thing for the video, so that's what the video looks like. Yeah, I hope you enjoy still, nonetheless. I am going to try and, you know, do scripts for, like, guides and such. If I make another tier list, I'm going to do a script for that. I'm not just going to kind of talk out my back like I usually sometimes do. So, yeah. Enjoy. Today I'm going to do a Deerclops guide. Now, I have a script next to me, so I'm going to try and more or less read off of it. I was planning on having all of this like post-edit, but I just decided to do it during the thing since I kind of want to get a video out sooner rather than later, since I haven't really been uploading like any actual content recently. I've been trying to figure out OBS and I've been messing around with it. And school has been fun. So let's start off with Deerclops is a winter seasonal boss and likely the first boss you will fight. She has 4,000 health. So, Deerclops, 4,000 health, 75 damage, and also has a massive insanity aura. She spawns in day 30, assuming you don't have any settings changed that affect her spawning. She will spawn around the player within render distance, which is 15 tiles. You can tell how big a tile is by, grabbing yourself a pitchfork. So, when you have a pitchfork, this is how big a tile is. So 15 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Yeah, this is how big it is. 15 tiles. So she will spawn around this radius of the player. So if you're right here, she will roughly spawn somewhere around there. It's about 2 screen distances long ways. So as you can see, this is one screen, and that's the other screen. So it's a little bit bigger than like 2 screen distances. It is from like the center of the player, so it would be from here, 15 towers that way, 15 towers that way, 15 towers that way, 15 towers that way. So anyways, she will spawn within 15 tiles, and she will walk towards the nearest building. This includes pig houses and bunny hutches, and it also includes walls. And she will go around, you know, destroying buildings. Whenever she destroys a building, it's the same as a hammer. She'll leave behind half the crafting materials. So a pig house will only leave behind 2 boards, 2 rocks, 2 pigskin. It's rounded up, so if, you know, the rocks from a pig house, you only get, there's 3 in the crafting recipe. Half of that is 1.5. It's rounded up to 2, so you get 2 rocks from it. After she destroys 15 buildings, she will try and get out of render distance with a smile or smirk on her face. And when she does, she despawns. So I guess let's show that off. So let's say, I don't know, have a B box plus, I don't know, your fridge, your drying rack, your crock pot, your chest, your tent, your fire pit, your alchemy station. And then let's go ahead and spawn Deerclops and immediately try and run away, since she will try and fight us. She should de-aggro at some point. There we go. She de-aggroed. She'll head towards the nearest building. She'll break it. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. Okay, so she breaks 6 things, not 5 things. Then she gets a smirk, and she'll try and walk out of the 15 tile render distance. And if she does, she will despawn. So if we just head back this way, come down over here, she's out of render distance, probably by now. So we'll go back up to check it out. And as you can see, there is absolutely no sign of her whatsoever. She has completely vanished, which can be a problem. Now the question is, why the heck would you actually want to fight her? Since 4,000 health sounds like a lot for a new people, and also the fact that she does 75 damage a hit, which is kind of a lot, but it is standard among bosses, so it's really not that much. But specifically for, like, you know, your first time ever fighting her, it sounds like quite a lot. And the reason why you want to fight her is not only does she drop 8 meat, she also drops her Deerclops eyeball. Her Deerclops eyeball is, well, pretty good, but we'll get into that in a second. Instead, we should also talk about the fact that killing her will prevent her from breaking your base or pig houses. So if you kill her, you just don't have to worry about her wandering into your base, and the next thing you know, your crock pots are gone, and your fridge is gone, and she is out the door, kind of deal. So her Deerclops eyeball is amazing. It makes springtime an absolute breeze. So if we go, I don't think I've made it yet in this one. Yeah, I haven't. So Deerclops eyeball is amazing, so it never spoils. So even if you already have an umbrella, you might still want more Deerclops eyeballs, since they give you hunger for an entire day for 60 health also, and the only downside is minus 15 sanity, which is really not that bad. You can also farm her if you got Glamour. You can use Glamour Goop to make a bunch of hostile flares to get a bunch of Deerclops eyeballs. Only problem is they only stack up to 10. But on top of that, making it into an umbrella gives you 100% range protection, 100% lightning protection, and it lasts for 9 days. It's also repairable with a sewing kit. Sewing kit's given an extra 5 days worth of life, so it will last you the entirety of spring. On top of that, it's a head slot, so you don't have to drop your backpack. So you can keep your backpack and have 100% rain protection. As far as I'm aware, it's the only item in game that gives you 100% rain protection as a head slot only. The only other thing to keep your backpack while getting 100% rain protection is to have anything with rain protection on the head plus an umbrella, but that one's a bit more annoying since that takes up your hand slot and your head slot. But it does mean you can have a football helmet while running around, so you're less likely to get one-tapped by anything. On top of that, it is also really good for summer. 240 summer insulation, which is the most amount that any one item will give you. It's really good for summer insulation. On top of that, with summer insulation, it has because it lasts 9 days, you'll only have to repair it one time during summer, basically. And the fact that it also works for summer and spring makes it good for half the year. It is one of the most versatile items in game, and it's really you need to get it. Deerclops is also really not that hard to fight, which brings me into the next one. What do you need to fight Deerclops? Now, this is suggested just based off of basically me face tanking her. You should at least have 2 football helmets, or at least 2 log suits, or 1 log suit, 1 football helmet. Either one works. Armor stacking doesn't work in DST, so having a football helmet and a log suit is the same as having 2 football helmets in terms of armor and protection and stuff. It doesn't change that. And you should have at least 120 worth of healing. So this is 3 pierogies or 6 blue caps, and you should have about 150 worth of sanity. So this is 10 cooked green caps or 10 cooked cactus. If you do use blue mushrooms, you'll need an additional 6 cooked cactus, or 1 cooked cactus or 1 cooked green cap for every blue mushroom you plan on eating. You should also have a fresh handbat for maximum damage, or tentacle spike being mostly max durability. I think you only need 80% of a tentacle spike, but just bring one with 100% since you might as well. I wouldn't suggest using any other weapons that deal less damage than 51 damage per hit, since 51 damage per hit, such as tentacle spike, the faster you get the fight done, the less healing you need. So the faster you get the fight done, the less likely you are to get hit, and also the less sanity food you need because of her insanity aura. So the longer the fight takes, the more insane you will go. So trust me, it's worth getting a tentacle spike, or a handbat is even easier to get. So a handbat does more damage. It lasts 10 days, but admittedly, it loses damage slowly over time. You would want to make a fresh one just for this fight, just so that way you will, once again, it goes faster. Batter spears, if you're playing as Wigfrid, especially solo, batter spears do 42 damage a hit, but because Wigfrid has a 25% damage increase multiplier, it actually does 51 damage when you use it with her. so it's basically the same as a tentacle spike. And Wolfgang can technically get away using an axe, since an axe does 27 damage, but Wolfgang gets double damage. So instead, it does 54 damage, which is more than a tentacle spike with Wilson. But unless you're like really strapped for resources, just get a hand bat and make the fight faster, because the faster you do it, the less healing you need and the less sanity you need, if that makes sense. Also, the easier the fight is. So honestly, you should always just get a hand bat, 2 football helmets, and etc. Now that's basically where my script ends, because I forgot that I didn't finish it, so I'm going to wing it from here. So to fight Deerclops, once you get yourself a fresh hand bat, your fantabulous, making sure I cannot die, because I'm definitely not going to do anything stupid. Anyways, your fantabulous 2 football helmets, your delectable, let's just, oh, okay, I did not mean to do that, but sure, a bunch of roasted potatoes. Yeah, why not? Just a bunch of jerky as well. Jerky also works, it gives you healing and sanity all baked into one, which is pretty good. And then let's go ahead and spawn our malevolent Deerclops. So, if you want to kite her like the actual way that you're meant to kite her, the easiest way to do it is on a road, since a road gives you speed bonus. Who would have guessed that? But you bait out attack, you get 3 hits or 4 hits, depending on how risky you feel. And then you just back up. Now, as you can notice, getting 4 hits can be really risky, especially when you're not on the road. And you'll probably get hit, so the safe option is just to get 1, 2, 3 hits, and then walk back. 1, 2, 3 hits, and then walk back. Now, that's the option to basically never get hit, if you don't want to get hit. It's not too bad, it's not too great either. There is another option that also makes it pretty hard to get hit. And it's pretty simple. Okay, I need to get her like right here. Cool. So you get her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can hit her about 5 to 6 times. And then you can dodge. Just hold up or down. Ouch. And if you kite too late, she will hit you. And if you kite too early, she will change where her attack goes, and she'll also hit you. As you can see, there I kited too early, she changed where her attack went. Ouch, that one I kited too late, and she changed where her attack went. So that's like the simple way. Those are the simple ways of kiting her. Another way, especially if you don't have a road, because the kiting side to side, it doesn't require a road, but it can be inconsistent without a road, is this instead, where you get about 5 hits, and then you go around. And you kind of go in a circle. Around her. So, yeah. Get a couple of hits. It's a faster way to kite her. making the fight a lot faster than the other two methods. Ouch. But once again, if you kite her too late, you will get hit. If you kite her too early, you will also get hit. So there's like a right rhythm to it that you have to do. It's a little bit more difficult. If you do realize while we're fighting her, the fact that around her feet there's icicles. Pretty much everywhere there is icicles is actually where her attack hits. So wherever you see an icicle, that means you will get damaged if you're standing there. And as you can see, whenever she attacks, there's a bunch around her feet. So you do have to like back up, because if I do walk to the side of her, for instance, I'll still get hit by the icicles. So you have to go like around like this. You cannot go like this through her feet, because you'll still get hit. If that makes sense to you all. Also, her feet do have like a small collision, so it might be hard to kite through her feet, though I think while she's attacking, no, I thought it was while she was attacking you can kite through it. Okay, well, that apparently is not a thing. So yeah, just watch out. If you do try that method, make sure you're not too close to the legs so you don't get hit. Because, yeah, icicles. And as you can see, it's also a little bit behind her, so even if you kite up through her, you'll still get hit. The next thing is her insanity aura is exponential. So what do I mean by that? So hold on, let me. Okay, I don't even need to change that, but look, I'm standing right next to her. Look at how fast my sanity goes down. You saw how fast that was? You see at the, just like the tip end, how much it is? It's not really that much at like the tip end when my sanity starts going down. And watch. When I'm in melee range, this is how fast my sanity goes down. It's not by very much. But the second I walk right next to her, it's by a lot more. So you can still hit her from a decent distance and not lose that much sanity. But if you stand directly below her, you will lose a lot more sanity than you otherwise would. So do keep that in mind, to also not stand directly underneath her, as you will lose a bunch of sanity and health. Now, if you're feeling a little bit cheesy, and you don't feel like, you know, kiting her and everything, because blah, who would want to do something like that? Instead, what you can do is you can grab 2 football helmets. You should definitely grab a fresh hand bat for this. And all you need is technically a torch, and to be at like more or less max health. Where the frick is a torch? I don't know what section that would be in. No, that's crafting. Well, not crafting, but okay, torch is in tools. So your torch, 2 football helmets. The torch is really important. I'll show you why in a sec. So what you want to do, admittedly this Deerclops is already damaged. Hold on, let me just, where's One Punch Man? I forget which one's One Punch Man. One hit mode, there we go. Okay. So we got that football helmet at 80%. That will probably just go drop on the floor. Let's get ourselves a new football helmet. And we just reset our stats. Let's turn off One Punch mode. I forgot what I was going to do and why I needed to kill her. Whatever. Okay. Spawn Deerclops. Light a torch. Light a tree. Grab out your handbat. And stand as close to Deerclops and the tree as you can. Oh yeah, that's the reason I killed her. She didn't have max health. Anyways. Yeah, it's this simple to just kill Deerclops. And as you can see, if we go ahead and we just grab the 3 pierogies I was talking about earlier. Crockpot dishes, pierogies, 1, 2, 3. Nomp. 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 Wow, as you can see, we're already at max health. And our sanity is a little bit bad, but, you know, you just grab some cooked cactus. Wow, look at that. Our sanity is maxed again, also, with just 3 cooked cactus, actually. And as you can see, we didn't even use the second football helmet fully. We only got it down to 80%. We did drop the other one that was at 80% also. Handbats have infinite durability, so it doesn't even matter. As you can see, I also tested it with a tentacle spike, and the tentacle spike had 21% left. So all you need is like 80% on a tentacle spike, and you should be good. And she's really not that difficult to fight if you just do this method. Also, if you really want to, another method you can use, which is really, really good, if you have the ability to make dark swords or glass cutters, you should definitely use those. So if we grab a glass cutter, and also a mobile suit. If you want to face tinker, just make a mobile suit. And I think like 2 football helmets is how much you need, but I'll just reuse the same football helmet from earlier. So, yep, 2 football helmets, a mobile suit. Now, do be advised, mobile suits reduce your movement speed by 30%. And on top of reducing your movement speed by 30%, they do give you 95% damage reduction. Or about an additional 75% damage reduction on top of what the football helmet would have already given you. So, in practical terms, you will take 1/4 of the damage, assuming you face tank the entire time. Admittedly, because mobile suits do make you slower, you're basically going to be face tanking this boss no matter what. Even if you try and kite her, it's pretty difficult unless you also have some speed bonus, but that just is enough to counteract the mobile suit, it would still be difficult to kite her. So let's just spawn her in and kind of show how that works. Close that. Light the tree on fire. As you can see, we take a grand total of 4 damage a hit. Back away so that way we're not getting as much insanity. Now, admittedly, we are using a glass cutter. That just makes the fight faster, but from my testing, I wonder if I tested it in this one. But from my testing with it, yeah, I think I did. It has about 53%, so you get like 1 or 2 or 3 extra hits on you. Versus, when you're using a glass cutter, you know, you get hit 3 times less, which is pretty decent, especially with how slow her attacks are already. Getting her to attack 3 times less, not 3 times less, but three attacks less on you is just better. It's up to you whether or not it's worth it, but it's like, what, 5 moonglass shards and 1 log. It's not really that expensive, especially with moonglass being really easy to get. A lot. So, yeah. Cool. That's pretty much all I have to say. Besides, I guess you can also make a Houndius Shootius with this. But I would not suggest doing that, since a Houndius Shootius does 51 damage per hit, and it attacks once per second. For context, a player attacks every half a second, so it would not even be the equivalent of a player attacking with an axe. A player attacking with an axe would do about 3 DPS more than a Houndius Shootius, though a Houndius Shootius does have range, and it does regen, and it also has 1,000 health, and it can also be used to cheese some bosses. But if your plan is to have it as like a base defense, maybe it's not terrible. But you do have to fight Ancient Guardian, you have to fight Deerclops, and you also have to use Thorsight to get a Houndius Shootius, so it's really not, it's not worth it. Don't make a Houndius Shootius. Like, I'm begging you, don't. But, yeah, otherwise, I don't really have much else to say about this. Besides, if you do plan on kiting Deerclops, you'll need more sanity food than if you don't kite Deerclops. So, if your plan is to kite Deerclops, you might need less healing food, so instead of 3 pierogies, maybe you need 2 pierogies or 1 pierogi. But you will absolutely need more sanity food, since the fight will take longer, especially if you kite like around her. So say this is Deerclops, and you're doing the kite around this, where you go around her, and then you start fighting. Punch, punch, go around her, punch, punch, go around her, punch, punch. Since you're so close to her legs, especially if you kite like this, where you go like this, instead of like a circle around her, you go closer to her legs, you'll go more insane. So just bring like 10 cactus, honestly, 15 cactus. However much cactus you realistically want to go grab is good enough. Yeah. Hopefully you guys know how to fight Deerclops now, and why you should fight Deerclops. Hopefully it was informative. I guess I also didn't really talk about the figure sketch, but yeah, you can put that into a potter's wheel. That's about all you can do with it. Wow. Give. Wow. Craft. Wow. And if you don't know how to do this, you just put cut stone or a piece of mobile or a piece of stone, and then you also need or not piece of stone, a piece of moon glass, and then you also have to have 2 rocks in your inventory, and then you can make it. If you make it... Which one's statues? Is this one statues? No. Okay, it's not this one. Is it this one? No. Oh, the old farm plots. They're still here? That's crazy. Which one is it that has the freaking statues? At this point, I might as well just craft them. Ah, it's okay, it's this one. So, you can go ahead and... Oh, are these the event ones? That's weird. Okay, yeah, so, Moonglass one. Mobile one. Cutstone one. Twala. I know, it's crazy, right? And, yeah, you just make them on the potter's wheel, you pick them off the potter's wheel, and then you carry them around, and then you drop them, and, yeah, you get the point. Well, I hope you enjoyed. This video was supposed to be like 30 minutes. Hey, I got it kind of on the dot. So, yep, have a good day, y'all.